Hello everyone! Welcome to the channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Sel. Today, I have a very exciting video for you. I'm going to finally share everything I bought from Amazon Japan. I placed this order back in January and it arrived in March. So it's been sitting here on my she shed for almost 2 months. I'll be honest, I'm overwhelmed by this haul. It's my biggest haul ever, and it's my first time to order from Amazon Japan. Now, I'm not promoting overconsumption. I'm just building up my collection, and I don't have any Japanese coloring books yet. I also haven't bought new art supplies in 15 years. This is the first time I'm buying art supplies again and treating myself to high quality, artist grade supplies. So please keep that in mind. I'm going to show you the items in roughly the order I bought them so I can tell you the story, okay? So let's kick off with a book that made me look into Amazon Japan. This is Fantasy Town by Noriko Nishimura and Yuki Nishimura. This is 100% influenced by Coloring with K, by the way. And I was going to buy this locally, but compared to Amazon Japan, it was much more affordable to order in Amazon Japan. And according to the translation I did about this book, this is Noriko Yoshimura and Yuki Nishimura, and they are sisters. Noriko, the older sister, has always loved to imagine fantasy towns, even when they were little. And then Yuki is a former art teacher, and she's the one coming up with the new projects. So they painted these fantasy towns, and they created merchandise out of these paintings. And then people demanded for a coloring book version of the fantasy towns. So they picked 24 of the fantasy towns and collected them and put them into this book. So let's look at the illustrations. I'm not going to look at all because I'm sure you can go to Coloring with K's channel and check it out. But let's look at a few of the illustrations, if in case you haven't seen this book before, just to show you why it's an interesting coloring book and worth it to have for me to go through all that trouble of going to Amazon Japan. Okay, so this is a fantasy town, and so this one is called The Kingdom of Art Supplies. And so there's a description here at the back, and I translated that. And let me zoom you in a little bit more so you can see. So in their imagination, this kingdom is built by a painter king, and it is filled with houses made of paint and crayons. And residents live among their favorite art materials and make a living by painting. So when you're painting this, that can guide you in terms of the color of the buildings, etc. Look at that. These are paint brushes here and some scissors, and these are paint tubes. Some are shaped like paint tubes and pencils. Wow. And there's a colored sample here. So you can copy this color sample or make it your own. And then the next one, this one, is called the Starry Night City. And this is a town overflowing with stars. On festival nights, many shooting stars fall down. So you can draw shooting stars And this is, I think, at the back of the book. So you have the reflection of water. And the next one is called The Civilization on the Moon. The civilization was developed using the power of the moon, a mysterious region where it is night all year round. We have several, I think this is, several moons, I think. And then the next one is Strawberry City. It's very cute. The whole town is filled with strawberries growing everywhere. The giant strawberry parfait is a specialty. Where is the giant strawberry parfait? And then finally, last page I'm going to show you. This one is the wizard's room. This is a room beloved by an eccentric wizard. And this is where his unique magic is born. And for me, this reminds me of a page in Rooms of Wonder by Johanna Basford with that giant magic ball in the middle. I think the size of the details is almost the same as in Rooms of Wonder, but that one is much, much more overwhelming than this. So it's a nice concept, this book. And some pages are more detailed than others, smaller than others. And you are free to imagine however you wish. There are no rules. And that's what I like about fantasy coloring, fantasy towns, magical creatures. You can even imagine the habitants of that city while you're coloring, which is something I like to do. When I was little, I always imagined, places and people. And that's what drew me to this book, all that imagining. And I imagine also that coloring really small details is a very relaxing thing to do. I'm so glad that I got this. I almost changed my mind. That is Fantasy Towns by Noriko and Yuki Nishimura. So since I was already in Amazon Japan, I got the books I wanted the most. And these are the books that I really wanted the most. These are some Tokimeku coloring books. If you haven't seen these books before, Tokimeku means heart pounding, like exciting. And they're heart pounding because they're story-based coloring books. So if you're someone who imagines themselves to be making their own children's book someday, this will definitely excite you because it makes you feel like you're the author of a storybook. And for me, something like this is something that I can color and then give to my little daughter as a storybook when she's a little bigger. And all the Tokimeku coloring books are this size. They are all 88 pages. And the first to come out of the series is Bear and the Lovely City. This was published in October 2021. This is the first coloring book of its kind. And this is the story about 5 bears who are siblings. And they want to throw a party at their house. The book is divided into 3 chapters. The first chapter is about preparing the house for the party. The second chapter is going out to Animal Town, which is, I guess, where they live. And then you'll meet all the animal characters in their neighborhood, in their town. And then the third chapter is the party itself. And so we have this, the introduction. Near a stream in the forest, there was a house with a chimney roof where two siblings, a bear, lived together in harmony. One fine morning, Robbie came in and said, "Hey everyone, let's invite our friends over to a party today." And this is Robbie. Then the other siblings also smiled and said, "Good, good. Well, I have to write and deliver the invitations. Let's make the house sparkle and prepare a feast." So Ropey, Coco, and Mel went shopping in town with the invitations, while Remy and Lulu stayed at home to get ready. It's the start of a wonderful day for the siblings. I guess Ropey and Robbie are the same. So this is Robbie. He's the instigator of the party. And then we have Remy. This is Coco. And this is Lulu. And this is Mel. At the start of the book, they're having breakfast. And then Robbie says, "Hey, let's have a party." And then next, they're preparing for like the invitations. They're doing some kind of writing and painting. And here is the making of the invitation. Here it says, invitation. On this evening, when the stars are twinkling and the moon is shining, we will be holding a delicious and fun party. Please come along. The place on the hill beyond the chimney house forest, the crescent moon pond is a sign. From the bear siblings. And then, so now they're cleaning the house. And you see outside of the house, they're looking at recipes and they've made a cake. And the next chapter is about going out into the town to deliver the invitations. And you see here, it's a beautiful day with a rainbow. And these are the inhabitants of the town, all the other animals. And you've got a nice, large, double spread townscape here. And then all these different cute houses. And we have a restaurant. And the food that can be ordered in that restaurant. And we have a market. And then we have the party. The party at their house. And all the animals coming. And we've got the party going, the food, the drinks, photos of the party. And then everyone is tired and going to bed. They've had a nice long day. And then we've got some bonuses here. The first bonus is this. Another view of the town. And then bonus number 2 is the layout of their house. Bonus number 3 are all these interesting signs of the town stores. And then bonus number 4 is a map of the animal town. And that is Bear and the Wonderful City. The second Tokimeku to come out is Journey of the Wild Mouse Yururi, published in January 2022. This was drawn by a different illustrator. According to the message here, they wanted to create something exciting, so she drew a lot from her memories as a child. She always wanted to be small and be able to, let's say, jump into a treasure chest and be surrounded by the treasure when she was a child. And so she created this mouse character, which is small. And a lot of people like this book the best because it goes through the seasons. And she says that she included the seasons because when nature changes with the seasons, many exciting events happen for the animals as well. And this book is divided into 4 chapters, 1 per season. It starts with spring, with the animals waking up. We again have colored samples here. And then the story begins. A little way out of the center of the forest, on top of a hill, there lived a field mouse on top of a big elm tree. Walking around the forest with a sketchbook, his hands moved busily. Even after returning to the atelier, he seems to have fun drawing. The field mouse's name is Yururi. And you'll be surprised to know that Yururi is a girl mouse. And then we have the other characters in the story. We have the squirrel family. Yururi's neighbors live on top of the elm tree. Mom and dad are busy taking care of their mischievous children. They are a close family with Yururi all year round. Then we have Mr. Natural, who is a hedgehog who loves gardening. He fills the garden with flowers and makes her feel happy. It is a delight for the eyes to see the animals. And then we have Fairy Pucci, which is a mysterious spirit living in Yururi's atelier. It also accompanies Yururi when she goes out. And then we have Lighthouse Keeper Todd, who is a mouse who watches over the safety of the seas from the lighthouse, loves stargazing and collecting seashells. Then we have Pastry Shop Lulu and Noah. Lulu the mouse and Noah the squirrel are pastry chefs who run a Western-style pastry shop called Patisserie Libraison in the forest. And then we have Farmer Garrett, who lives in a water mill and grows wheat and vegetables to deliver to the animals in town. And finally, we have art supply store Mokuru, who is a shaggy dog who runs an art supply store in town. And Yururi is a regular customer. So now we have a map of Ruska Forest where all the story is happening. Then, like I said, we have the spring where everything is starting and people are waking up, and we have Yururi meeting all these animals and drawing in their sketchbook and all the things that Yururi does in the spring. And then we have summer season, and Yururi heads out of the Ruska forest and heads for the endless blue ocean. All the things that one can do in the summer. So this is where Yururi goes to the ocean and hangs out with the lighthouse keeper. And then autumn comes and Yururi helps the animals prepare for Halloween. So it's just nothing is really happening. It's just the changing of the season causes them to have different activities. And so they are preparing for harvest of the pumpkins. And now they're having a happy Halloween, trick-or-treating. Finally, we have the winter. And they're preparing for a Christmas party. So these are the Christmas invitations that Yururi draws for everyone, and that ends the book, the Christmas party. And then everybody hibernates again, I guess. That's the Wild Mouse Yururi. The last Tokimeko book I really wanted was The Midnight Tea Party for Stuffed Toys, which was published in August 2024. And this is my favorite story of all, because it involves a human. I like coloring humans more than I like coloring animals, I have to admit. And my favorite human to draw is a girl. So you'll be surprised to know that the character in this book is a girl. Okay, the introduction says that the family that lives in this house a little way from the city have a child who turns 6 today. Her most treasured possessions are the stuffed mice that her mother sews for her as her birthday present every year. The mice have a secret that no one knows about. When the family is away or at night, when everyone is asleep, they secretly come out to help out. A new friend has arrived to join these hardworking mice. And so these are the mice. That's her most treasured possessions, and this is the new mouse for her 6th birthday, and this is the little girl. I'm thinking, why a mouse, right? I mean, if I were to sew a toy for my baby, I'd sew her maybe a teddy bear. And teddy bears would be able to clean and help around the house more efficiently, right? But this is the story, so let's go with it. And there are 5 mice toys that she was given before. And their personalities are: the first mouse is a solid person. The second mouse is scaredy cat. Third mouse is leisurely. Fourth mouse is a gourmet or maybe gourmand. Fifth mouse is a fool. And sixth mouse is naughty. And it says here that you can name all the mice, because they don't have any names yet. Like the 7 dwarves. You can name them like their personality. And this is the little girl, who doesn't look like a little girl at all, except now that I'm looking at her shoes, she definitely is a little girl. And this dog is in on their secret. The dog knows about the mice coming alive at night. In chapter 1, it says, "I'll show my new friend around the house. I look forward to working with you." And here's the new mouse coming out of the box. And it's this card is just saying that I've sewn a new mouse for you. Please give it a good name, something like that. And then we just have a tour of the house and the mice cleaning the house. So this we have descriptions here about the panels, and that helps us to color the panels. Like this one, it says here like favorite photos of favorite memories, and this one is like a window where the sun comes through, something like that. So now we know that coloring this, we have to make the sun come through this window, and it's a really bright kind of window. And here we have to draw some kind of memories about the little girl and her mice toys, or maybe even the mom and the dog. So this they're just cleaning the house, and now they're cooking. And now we're at chapter 2. A little girl came to play with her stuffed rabbit. And this is the stuffed rabbit. And now we have a new character. This is probably my favorite scene in this book. We have a new character, this other girl who comes over to play, and her stuffed rabbit, who comes alive to play with the mice too. See? And then chapter 3. When I went to the garden to pick flowers, I encountered a cat, and now things are getting complicated. And this is the cat, and we can imagine that the cat would chase the mice, but the cat becomes their friend and even helps them out with their chores. And the cat and dog now know their secret. So they're all good friends, and they're having a picnic. And then chapter 4. Tonight is a full moon, which marks a special time for the mice. I'm not sure what happens. Some kind of magic is happening, and I guess they They travel somewhere in a fantasy world, and now the little girl is small, and all the stuffed toys have come alive, and she's gone into the world of stuffed toys, maybe. And even the dog is bigger than the little girl now. And now she's asleep. So we have some bonuses here. Bonus number 1 is a perpetual calendar. And then bonus number 2 are just some of the mice's favorite things. So additional things to color. That's it for the midnight tea party with stuffed animals. Then, of course, I had to buy eerie books. I got the first and the third tales, and I'm not even going to flip through them anymore because I'm sure you're familiar with Romantic Country and by Eerie, and plus Laura Mia is already the latest thing, and I am very, very late to this trend. I got this book by Dream Shop by Ida Chiaki. This is also a second-hand book. This was actually published in December 2015, so very, very old. Okay, let's flip through and see what the previous owner has colored. And I read the message here, and she said that when she was a little girl, she would find shops very intriguing and fascinating. So she drew this book so that we could recreate that memory of being a child and going into different stores. And what would we find in those stores? How would we, how do we imagine those stores to be like? So that's what she's done here. She's allowed us to imagine our own stores. So this one is a bookshop. And here, this is my coloring. This is the previous owner's coloring. She colored the hair green. She colored this dresser like multicolored. Like she wasn't aiming for realism. So I like that. And I want to preserve this owner's coloring of this book as part of this book's history. And I do have another copy of this, a brand new one. So I don't mind this at all. And this one as well as the previous owner. It's okay. I can just complete it. And that is my Dream Shop by Ida Chiaki. Next, I bought some white pens. These are Posca markers. These are Posca markers in white. And they are the extra fine. But for me, they're not small enough. Let me test it. think you need to shake it. So that's the thickest that it can go. And here, if I try to make it finer, this is what I'll get. Like very, very lightly draw. And I also got these, thinking that these will not be fine enough. So I got the pens, the Uniball Signo white pens by Mitsubishi. And I got the bold one because a Japanese art vlogger said to get the bold one. And I love them. Comparing the two, the white Signo gel pen is whiter than the Posca. It's more opaque than the Posca. The Posca came in a set of two. The Uniball Signo pen came in a set of two as well, and I got two of the set of two. Now back to books again. I'm going to show you one more book. I have a lot more, but I don't want this to be 2 hours long. I promise there are more books that you haven't seen and more art supplies. So this is the last book that I'll show for this video. And this is just a simple coloring book, nothing special, but the illustration style is by Makoto Takahashi. And Makoto Takahashi is the artist who made this style popular back in the 1970s in what is called the shoujo manga era. So during that time, the style of manga was like this. The girls had like huge sparkly eyes that looks almost like a galaxy. And then the eyelashes are very thick and long. And then the clothes and the accessories are super maximalist, feminine. And it's all about beauty and princess and romance. And it's everything a little girl would want in her life. It says it's a paper doll book, but you can color it. So I'll do a full flip through in another video for those who are interested in this book. But I got this because I remember seeing this style of drawing in mangas in our library when I was a little girl. It just brought back so many memories for me that I just had to have it. Like I said, this is just a very cheap, simple coloring book. The paper is just like what you'll get with a Peppa Pig coloring book. Yeah, very princessy. And yeah, I love it so much. I'll do a flip through, I promise. That's it for the video. There's more, a lot more, I promise. Please like if you like this video and subscribe so you can watch the next part of this haul. Thank you very much for watching and let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!